They say if you can simplify information that you can tell it to a third grader, then you know it. So I'm gonna try to simplify the importance of movement and how it regulates and changes the body for your overall well-being. What in the world is going on? All right. We have a part of our brain that's called the thalamus. And from the thalamus, it secretes cortisol, adrenaline. When we were created for our primitive days, we had fight or flight. We had to fight off animals. We had to hunt and gather for our food. Take us to today, where you don't move and you don't have any movement where you're secreting the cortisol and the adrenaline. You have thoughts. Oh my God, how do I simplify this? The thalamus is the part of your brain that thinks of the negative emotions. It holds on to snapshots of things that were tragic in your life. It'll cause you to worry and to think things that are not truly happening because your body has to secrete the cortisol and the adrenaline. Hopefully you're following me. So when you have no movement all day long, the thalamus has the threshold that it has to release. So you have these negative feelings, these negative emotions because you have no movement. Now, I'm not saying that people that do exercise and have movement don't have the thalamus working against them. They do, but the reaction is not as strong because people with movement that go through exhaustion already burn the threshold of chemical that the thalamus makes that causes the secretion of adrenaline and cortisol. So people with no movement, it basically simmers and it floats around with no release. That's why you'll have people that have outbursts and anger and they look for drama because your body has to release the cortisol. So when you wake up and you exercise or you have movement during the day that is intentionally to burn the cortisol and the adrenaline, it starts to help with your mental health. That's why exercising makes people feel good because you burn the cortisol and the adrenaline. And then when you go through the rest of the day, you really don't have too many fucks to give because you burn out that threshold of cortisol and adrenaline from the thalamus. And another thing that is important about working out, exercising, movement strengthens and builds your hippocampus. And from your hippocampus, that's the part where memory and learning and good quality sleep takes toll because exercising is the number one, movement is the number one thing that helps the hippocampus grow, that creates new neurons that can attach for memory and learning. Second is learning the language. Third is reading hard text, something that's going to make you have to think past the capacity of what you already know. These three things put together, it's like a mind orgasm. So hopefully I simplified that, the importance of movement. When you don't do nothing and you sit and you simmer for the rest of your life, you will live a life full of depression, anxiety, all of these different can't get a hold of your emotions because that's what our body does. If you're not out fighting and flight and running and getting the adrenaline moving, it flows from the body. It's going to release it. So what you choose to do with it is on you. No matter what counselor you go sit in front of, wherever you go, your body is going to create these emotions. You're going to think negative thoughts. Some of them are going to be higher and stronger than others because you do nothing with the cortisol. You do nothing with the adrenaline. You sit and it simmers until the moment you want to snap on your kids. Sit the fuck down. You don't. And they be like, she's moody or he's moody. He has an attitude all the time. Yeah, because they don't do nothing. So when you burn the energy up and you place that energy in another area, it helps to keep the threshold low. But every day is an everyday process to the day you die because your thalamus is always going to be working. Your hippocampus is going to be waiting to expand. So the growth, the recovery, the way you live, your moods, your emotions, it's all on you to control. When you get an understanding of how the brain and the body works, it helps you live a function and better life. So hopefully that was simplified enough. And have a great day. Bang.